What if I told you that Darth Vader once trained an apprentice so powerful he could pull a Star Destroyer out of the sky? A Force user so dangerous the Empire tried to erase every trace of his existence, and yet without him, the Rebel Alliance might have never been born. This is the tragic, disturbing, and unbelievable life of Galen Marek, the Sith assassin known as STARKILLER. STARKILLER isn't just another Legends character. He represents the darkest what-if in the Star Wars history. What if Vader secretly raised his own chosen one? What if the rebellion was unknowingly built by a Sith? And what if one of the most powerful Force users who ever lived only died forgotten? Galen's life is a cycle of manipulation, identity loss, and a heartbreaking sacrifice. A story that shaped the galaxy far more than most fans realize. We'll break his life into 6 defining chapters. Number 1, his abduction from Vader stealing a child with unbelievable power. Number 2, he was used as a weapon for the Empire. STARKILLER's brutal upbringing and lethal missions. Number 3, the trials and Jedi hunts, such as Ram Koda, Shaak Ti, and many others. Number 4, the double betrayal. Vader kills him not only once, but twice. And number 5, the birth of the rebellion and Galen's heroic awakening. And lastly, number 6, his martyr, clone, and legacy. This is how STARKILLER shaped the future. The Empire was still young when Vader received reports of a surviving Jedi on Kashyyyk. Jedi Knight Kento Marek was hiding with his young son Galen. Vader stormed the Wookiee homeworld with terrifying aggression, cutting through warriors until he confronted Kento face to face. But just as Vader moved in for the kill, his lightsaber was ripped from his hand by invisible power. Not by the Jedi, but by the Jedi's son. A child, barely old enough to speak, had just disarmed Darth Vader through sheer instinct. Vader killed Kento immediately, and everyone else who saw what happened. Then he took the boy, not out of mercy, but because he saw in Galen what he once saw in himself. Raw, explosive power the Emperor didn't need to know about. And so the boy vanished from the galaxy, and Galen Marek died that day. Vader hid Galen aboard the Executor, raising him in isolation. He wiped the boy's past, replacing it with one purpose: serve the Sith, kill the Jedi, and help Vader overthrow the Emperor. To break him, Vader subjected him to constant surprise assassination attempts from the droid Proxy, survival trials that forced him to develop his own brutal fighting style, sensory deprivation tests, including being chained in darkness for days, and the mental torment of seeing nothing in the Force. No visions, no guidance. STARKILLER's only friend was a droid programmed to kill him. Vader would occasionally appear, offer cold praise, and then vanish again. STARKILLER grew up desperate for approval, believing loyalty made him strong. But Vader wasn't building a son, he was building a weapon. Once grown, STARKILLER became Vader's unseen executioner. His missions required leaving no witnesses, even Imperial ones. Then came his true test. Ram Koda, a Jedi general who refused Order 66. STARKILLER overwhelmed him, blinded him, and left him for dead. The next was Kazdan Paratus, a broken Jedi hiding in a scrap-built replica Jedi temple. STARKILLER cut through droids and madness alike. And lastly, Shaak Ti, the last major survivor of the Jedi Council. Their battle atop a Sarlacc pit was brutal and personal. As she died, she delivered a warning. The Sith always betray their own. STARKILLER ignored her. He shouldn't have. After completing his trials, STARKILLER returned, expecting their plan to begin. Instead, the Emperor was waiting. To convince Palpatine he had no secret apprentice, Vader instantly ignited his blade and stabbed STARKILLER through the chest. As his life slipped away, STARKILLER realized the truth. Shaak Ti had been right. Vader hurled his broken body into space, letting him die in silence. But STARKILLER didn't die. Vader secretly recovered him, rebuilt him with cybernetics, and gave him a new mission: unite the Empire's enemies into a rebellion, draw the Emperor's attention away, and when the time was right, Vader would strike. It was all a lie. But STARKILLER didn't know that yet. To build this rebellion, STARKILLER would rescue Juno Eclipse, who became his anchor to humanity, recruited Ram Koda, who became the Jedi father he never had, free the Wookiees on Kashyyyk and save Princess Leia. He convinced Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and Garm Bell to join him, and single-handedly pulled a Star Destroyer out of the sky, proving the Emperor wasn't invincible. But this alliance was just bait. At the Corellian Treaty signing, Vader struck again. He stormed the meeting, arrested the future leaders of the rebellion, and hurled Starkiller through the walls like garbage. And this time, Starkiller was done. Rescued by Juno, he reclaimed his true name, Galen Marek. Not Starkiller, not Vader's weapon. He was a Jedi. Through meditation, Galen discovered the Senator's location, the Death Star. Alone, he infiltrated the superweapon, freed the Wookiees, and cut through Imperial forces until he reached the throne room. There he defeated Vader, the man who stole his life. But Palpatine tempted him. Strike him down. Take your place at my side. Galen refused. When Palpatine blasted Ram Koda with lightning, Galen stepped between them. He absorbed the Emperor's fury. He unleashed one final explosion of Force power and sacrificed everything so the rebel leaders could escape. Galen Marek died a hero, and his family's crest became the symbol of hope, the Rebel Alliance Starbird. Vader couldn't let Galen go. Using his remains, he attempted to create the perfect obedient clone, Subject 1138, meaning 1,338 attempts, almost all insane. One survived or thought he survived. Haunted by Galen's memories, he hunted for Juno, confronted Vader on Kamino, and his fate diverged depending on the player's choice. Light side, he spares Vader and chooses his own path. The dark side, a corrupted clone murders him, erasing Galen's legacy. Galen Marek is more than a legend's what if. His life shows the tragedy of Sith manipulation, the brutality of Vader's ambition, and the spark of rebellion born from a broken weapon who chose to become a man. Without Galen, there may have been no United Senators, no early resistance, no Starbird, and no hope. His sacrifice shaped the rebellion long before Luke Skywalker ever ignited a lightsaber. If Starkiller had survived, do you think he would have become a greater Jedi than Luke, or the most dangerous Sith in history? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think. Make sure to like the video, subscribe, and join me for the next breakdown.